Hello again. We are going through the 7.6 worksheet. I have eliminated a few problems which were noted on the document and the Google Classroom post. So first of all, number one, find the sine of r and the sine of s. So again, for each triangle, I'm going to do sine of r, sine of angle s, sine of r, sine of angle s. Okay? Then we're going to go ahead and set up our ratios. And if I'm doing r, the sine is going to be as so. So opposite, 15 over 25, here's the hypotenuse. And if I'm doing s, so over here the sine of r, 16 and 34 is my hypotenuse. If I go ahead and switch over to looking at the sine of s, my opposite here is 20 over 25. And over here, here's s, is 30 over 34. Now in all of my cases here, I just need to do a little bit of fraction work and as a decimal. So I've got the fraction done. So now if I divide this out, I get 0.6. And I could add zeros here. I get 0.8. Over here, this one, I'm just going to divide on my calculator. 4 decimals is going to be 0.4706. And if I take 30 divided by 34, I get 0.8824. So, similar to those, we're going to take a look at these cosine functions here. So cosine A equals 20. Oh, that's not right. Because cosine, remember, is ca. So I've got to go 48 over 52. And over here, cosine A is going to be 24 over 30. And let's figure out those decimals here. And we're going to get 0.96 here. And over here, we're going to get 24 divided by 30. 0.8000. If we want, I could add 2 zeros here. So now if we go ahead and do the second part to each of these problems, I'm going to find the cosine of b. Again, I'm using this. So here's b, here's my adjacent, so I get 20 over 52. Over here, my cosine of b is right here, so my adjacent is 18 over 30. And if I take 20 divided by 52, I get 0.3846. And if I get 18 divided by 30, I get 0.6000. We'll not see too many problems like that. These are the problems for which you will see a lot of here. So use cosine or sine to find the value of each variable round decimals to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to write my SOHCAHTOA. That will help me with choosing which function that applies. Now we just can't use any old function. We have to use a particular one for the situation. So first of all, each variable value here, let's find a first. So I've got an angle. This is my adjacent to the angle. And this is going to be my opposite to the angle. So in this case, this is going to be TOA to find A. So if I use TOA, then I'm going to say it's the tangent of, now I can't read what that was here. 57. So I'm going to say the tangent of 57 degrees over 1, over 1 equals 14 over little a. I'm going to do the tangent of 57 on my machine. I get 1.54. Then I'm going to switch over here to do 14 divided by 1.54. That's going to give me 14 divided by... So that's going to give me about 9.1. And now if I go ahead and continue this problem to figure out b, I can use these three guys here, which is opposite and hypotenuse. So opposite and hypotenuse is going to be this one. So I'm going to do the So I'm going to say the sine of 57 degrees over 1 equals 14 over b. Sine of 57 is 0.84. And again, switching over to my red proportion, I'm going to get this divided by 0.84. So b is going to be 14 divided by 0.84. So I get 16.7 for that. Okay. So again, it takes a bit of work here. What I'm going to do here is let's scribble off this middle one here, just running out of room. Okay. Give us some more room here. So moving back to my pen here, so to find x, I've got this, this, and this. So this is my adjacent. Here's my hypotenuse. That's going to be my cosine. So I'm going to say the cosine of 47 degrees over 1 equals x over 12. Cosine 47 comes out to about 0.68. And now we're going to switch over to the red for this times this divided by that. So x will be about 12 times 0.68, about 8.2. Switching colors here, taking a look at finding y. So again, we're using this, this, and this. And now this is my opposite with hypotenuse. Opposite with hypotenuse is going to be sine. So I'm going to say the sine of 47 over 1, 47 degrees, equals y over 12. Sine of 47 is 0.73. And switching over to Mr. Red here, multiply these, divide by that. So y will be approximately equal to 12 times 0.73. And we get about 8.8. Okay. A few problems left here. We're going to skip number 10. So 2 problems left here. A chairlift on a ski slope has an angle of elevation, so this is an angle up, of 28, and the chair covers, holy cow, that's a long chair ride. That can be cold if it's windy up there. To the nearest foot, what is the vertical height h? So now we have to be careful. I'm going to change that to x so we don't get confused that that's the hypotenuse. So again, I'm going to have my SOHCAHTOA. Then I'm going to solve because I can't Pythagorean theorem this guy. So I've got an angle, and I've got the opposite, and I've got the hypotenuse. So this is going to be so. So I'm going to say the sine of 28 degrees over 1 equals x over 4,640. Sine of 28 gives me 0.47. Again, switching colors here. I'm going to multiply these two guys, divide by that, and I get x in this case, which is my vertical change here, is going to be 4640 times 0.47, which is going to be 2,181 feet. Okay. And then finally here, you are preparing to land an airplane, which is the most thrilling thing known to a flyer, is landing. You are on a straight line approach path that forms a 3-degree vertical angle with the runway. What is the distance d along the approach path? So that's really the hypotenuse. And this is the adjacent, oh no, this is the opposite from this angle here. So if I go ahead and fix that little spot there, that's actually the adjacent. Oh, messed up again. That's the, I see the plane, it's adjacent to the plane, but it's opposite the angle of interest. So again, if I do my SOHCAHTOA, I have the opposite and hypotenuse. Again, we're at sine. So we're going to say the sine of 3 degrees. Well, that's the smallest angle we've done so far. And it's 500 over d, which is hypotenuse. Sine of 3 degrees. We should maybe go a couple extra places here. So I'm going to go do a couple more since we got big numbers. It affects the numbers differently here. Now switching over to my red proportion work here. So I'm going to get d is going to be about equal to 500 divided by 0.0523. So we're going to get about 9,560 feet of that. That's going to be this part right here. Okay, so almost 2 miles. Almost 2 miles. Well, this concludes the worksheet, so hopefully you had a chance to check your answers and make some fixes. Don't forget to take a picture of your completed assignment work, whether it's on a notebook or whatever, scratch paper, and send that in to get credit. Thank you. Bye.